Remember when Nokia ruled the world? Their slogan, connecting people, wasn't marketing fluff, it was reality. By 2007, Nokia had captured over half of the global mobile phone market. They seemed untouchable. Then Apple launched the iPhone, and within 5 years, Nokia was irrelevant. Today, I'm going to show you why Apple, the company that destroyed Nokia, might be walking down the exact same path, and the evidence is more damning than you think. When Steve Jobs unveiled the iPhone in January 2007, he didn't just introduce a new project, he redefined what technology could be. The iPhone had a touchscreen interface that actually worked, an operating system that made sense, and apps that transformed how we lived. Jobs followed this with the iPad in 2010, revolutionizing tablets. Then came Siri in 2011, making voice assistants mainstream. Jobs was obsessed with breakthrough innovation. He famously said, "Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower." He pushed his teams to create products that didn't just improve on existing technology, they made it obsolete. The iPhone didn't just compete with the BlackBerry, it made BlackBerry irrelevant. But Jobs died in October 2011 and everything changed. Tim Cook took over as CEO, bringing a complete different philosophy. Cook is brilliant at operations. He turned Apple into the most profitable company in human history. Revenue grew from $108 billion in 2011 to $394 billion by 2022. That's nearly 4 times larger in 11 years. But here is what Cook sacrificed for that growth: breakthrough innovation. Look at the iPhone today versus the iPhone 4S from 2011. Yes, it's faster. Yes, the camera is better, but fundamentally, it's the same device. We have had 13 years of incremental improvement, slightly better screens, marginally faster processors, additional camera lenses. But where is the revolution? Even Johnny Levy, Apple's legendary designer chief who created the iPhone's iconic look, left the company in 2019. Industry insiders report he was frustrated by Apple's shift towards bureaucracy and away from bold design risks. The numbers tell the real story. iPhone sales are declining globally. In China, sales dropped 19%. In Europe, down 17%. In India, down by 14%. Even in the United States, Apple's home market, sales fell by 10%. Apple executives blame external factors: inflation, supply chain issues, market saturation. But the truth is simpler. People aren't excited about the new iPhones anymore. When your biggest selling point is slightly better camera, you lost the innovation game. This becomes even more obvious when you look at artificial intelligence. While Google, Microsoft, and OpenAI are building AI systems that can write code, create art, and solve complex problems, Apple is still trying to make Siri understand basic commands. Google's AI learns from billions of searches every day. Microsoft's AI improves from millions of users' interactions. Apple's AI, it's locked inside individual devices, unable to learn from the real world. The result is Siri in 2025 is barely more capable than Siri in 2011. It can set timers, play music, and send text. Meanwhile, ChatGPT is helping people write novels and solve complex mathematical problems. Apple's closed ecosystem strategy, once their greatest strength, has become their biggest weakness. The App Store's 30% commission fee has developers furious. Epic Games, Spotify, and dozens of other companies are fighting Apple in courts across the world, claiming anti-competitive behavior. Regulators are paying attention. The European Union is forcing Apple to allow alternative app stores. The United States Department of Justice is investigating Apple for monopolistic practices. These aren't minor regulatory hiccups. They are existential threats to Apple's business model. But perhaps the most telling sign is culture. Apple used to be the cool brand that challenged the status quo. Think Different wasn't just an advertising slogan, it was Apple's identity. Today, Apple is seen as the establishment. They are the safe choice, the premium option, but not the innovative disruptor. Young consumers increasingly view Apple as their parents' brand. They're choosing Samsung, OnePlus, and other Android manufacturers that offer simpler functionality at lower price, or more innovative features like foldable screens. This is exactly how Nokia fell. Nokia had massive market share, billions in cash, and seemed invincible. But they stopped innovation. They became comfortable. They focused on protecting existing profit instead of creating breakthrough products. BlackBerry followed the same pattern. They dominated the business communication, had a loyal customer base, and generated enormous profits. But when touchscreen smartphones arrived, BlackBerry couldn't adapt. They kept making keyboards while world moved to touchscreens. Apple today has advantages Nokia and BlackBerry never had. They have over $50 billion in cash, 2.2 billion active devices worldwide, and perhaps the most loyal customer base in tech history. But money and market share doesn't guarantee survival if you stop leading innovation. The smartphone revolution is ending and the AI revolution is beginning. Companies like OpenAI, Google and Microsoft are defining what artificial intelligence will look like for the next decade. Apple is watching from sidelines, trying to catch up with technology that's already moving beyond them. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Tim Cook has optimized Apple for financial performance, not technological leadership. Stock buybacks and dividend payments make shareholders happy, but they don't create the next iPhone. Cook's Apple is the most profitable technology company in history, but it's no longer the most innovative and in technology. The question isn't whether Apple will survive. They probably will. With their cash reserves and established ecosystem, Apple could coast for years, maybe decades. The real question is whether Apple will lead the next wave of technology or become a cautionary tale about what happens when operational excellence replaces breakthrough innovation. Steve Jobs once said, "Innovation is the ability to see change as an opportunity, not a threat." Today, Apple sees AI, open ecosystems, and new technologies as threats to be managed rather than opportunities to be seized. And that's exactly how market leaders become market followers. And market followers eventually become case studies in business school textbooks and companies that were once great but forgot how to lead. Apple still has time to change the course, but every quarter they prioritize profit margins over breakthrough products. Every year they fall further behind in AI. Every decision they make to protect existing revenue instead of creating new categories, they move one step closer to becoming the next Nokia. The revolution that destroyed Nokia started with one device, the iPhone. The revolution that might destroy Apple has already begun. The question is, will Apple lead it or will it be destroyed by it? If you want to stay ahead of these tech disruptions and discover the next companies that might reshape the entire industries, check out discvr.ai. We analyze emerging technologies and spot the patterns before they become obvious to everyone else. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more deep dive into the companies and technologies that are quietly changing the world while the giants sleep.